folks, join us for a mystical epic travel adventure to the Gobi Desert. You will be surprised what you are going to see. It is not the vast empty space with inhospitable environment that you think. Gobi Desert's claim to fame is that dinosaurs used to roam this place and was proved by the first discovery of fossilized dinosaur eggs in 1922 by American paleontologist Roy Chapman Andrew, the original Indiana Jones. Fossilized bones of some 100 species of dinosaurs has been unearthed and can still be found to this day by fossil hunter enthusiasts. The Gobi Desert is a unique, diverse desert. The common thinking is that the Gobi Desert is just like any other desert that is barren, lifeless, with endless sand dunes. But on the contrary, it is not at all sandy, but covered by bare rock with areas of vegetation, surrounded and inhabited by people for centuries. Unlike the Sahara Desert, sand dunes covers only 3% of the total desert, therefore not a true desert, except in the southern part bordering with China. Otherwise, most of it is a semi-desert. It has extremes of temperature reaching up to 45 degrees Celsius during summer day. Although it rarely snows during winter, temperature can go as low as minus 40 degrees Celsius. In spite of adverse extreme climates, several plant species have adapted to survive in the scorching heat. Unlike other deserts, a variety of insects, creatures, animals, besides camels, are also encountered, such as wild horses, vipers, golden eagles, vultures, mountain sheep, and even snow leopards. Saxhol is the most important plant in the Gobi Desert. It is drought resistant and plays an important role to the existence of animals and life of the nomads, as well as preservation of the desert soil. Now let us drive through the plains of the desert. As you will notice, there is no roads to follow. You are totally dependent on the local guides familiar to this place. The vast flat terrain is not sandy, but a bedrock, and is interrupted by rocky low mountains and hills that are barren, resembling the badlands of South Dakota. Along the way, one may encounter a mound or piles of stone and wood with a prayer flag. This is an ovo, a sacred shrine where passers-by stop and worship as a Mongolian folk religious practice. You circle the mound 3 times in a clockwise direction and place offerings as you walk around and pray that you may have a safe journey. Now let us venture into a more interesting area of the Gobi. The Yulinam is a valley of dramatic rocky cliff with a narrow gorge and heavily shaded canyons in this mountainous region of the Gobi Desert. Because water accumulates here, it can be called an oasis in the desert. The high steep rocky walls blocks the wind and the sun, thus preventing snow from melting, causing it to form glaciers. Because of its cool surroundings and rugged terrain, it is a popular place for Mongolians to cool off, trek, and relax. This is also where you can observe good number of golden eagles and vultures hovering in the sky, hence the name Yulinam, meaning Valley of Vultures and Eagles. Let us go trek in the spectacular sand dunes, also known as the singing dunes. From this whistling sound it makes as the sand is moved by the wind or as it collapses in small avalanches. The shape of the sun constantly changes due to swirling of the wind. The color of the sun also changes from yellow-white to orange as the intensity of light changes during the day. It takes an exhausting 45 minutes to an hour to hike to the top of 980 feet because every step forwards is followed by a significant backslide. As you can see, the long stretch of 965 square kilometers of the sand dunes is located at the foot of the Altai Mountains, which you can see at the background. Wild Bactrian camels are trained and domesticated to become animals of burden and means of transportation by the Mongolian nomadic people. Their distinguishing mark is its double hump. They have extraordinary ability to endure long stretches of travel without water or food, even in the harsh condition of the desert. In fact, the nomads uses them to locate source of water underground because they have special senses for it. They are the only land mammals that can drink brackish or salty water with no ill effects. Interestingly, they can also withstand radiation from nuclear weapons testing. It took us at least an hour to reach our destination. The Gobi Desert has a long history of human habitation by nomadic people since the beginning of time. Nomadic farmers has been here for some 10,000 years. To survive the desert, the nomads constantly move during each of the 4 seasons. In March, they move to their spring camp. In June, to their summer camp. In September, to their autumn camps. And by November, to their winter camps. Visiting a nomadic family in their girl home was an extraordinary experience and an in-depth learning of their customs and culture. It was interesting to learn of their nomadic lifestyle and herding traditions. They are very friendly and hospitable people. Just look at the sumptuous meal they prepared for us. Fermented mare's milk is their alcoholic and social drink. It is offered to every visitor. It was a little sour, but it takes a while to get used to it. Although the desert is very arid with an annual rainfall of 3 to 8 inches per year, nomadic farmers are able to sustain their farm animals and livestock because of several water holes in the desert. They never completely dry out. Subterranean or underground water is widespread and is sufficient for goats, sheep, horse, and cattle raising. The goats and sheep are their prized animals. Not only are they a source of milk, but their fur is highly valued, especially the Kashmir goat that are raised for their fine hair, the source of Kashmir wool. These goats and sheep can thrive in the harsh climate and weather, such as the ferocious 140 kilometers per hour wind dust storm. In the Gobi, goats outnumber the nomads 4 to 1. Their herds of goats and sheep is as good as calves. Kashmir goats is the most common livestock in the Gobi. They said, without animals, life here would be impossible. Nomadic life is not at all dull in the Gobi as they entertain themselves with various sports activities. Horseback riding and racing is a favorite sport. Children are already trained to ride a horse by age 3. It has been a long day, so let us settle in our camp to rest in our gird tent. Enjoy the sunset, have a Mongolian dinner, then turn in for the night to get ready for another rigorous trip to the fabled flaming cliffs of Bayanzag. But first, let us show you the inside of our gird tent. It's rather comfy for a travel foreign nomad like us. As you approach the Bayanzag area, you notice immediately the blazing red sandstone cliff that is quite stunning with its plunging canyons. You feel like you are entering another world. This place is also known as the Valley of Dinosaurs, as it was once inhabited by dinosaurs some 60 million years ago. To this day, the fossil bed still abounds with fossilized eggs and bones. It has now become the center of the fossil world since the discovery of the first fossilized dinosaur eggs was unearthed in 1922 by a team of paleontologists led by American Roy Chapman Andrew. After 2 years of digging, they also unearthed some 100 species of dinosaur bones. It was him who nicknamed the place Flaming Cliff because of the red rock sandstone cliff and buttes turns orange and red that glow at sunset. A completed dinosaur skeleton and eggs that is shown here is displayed at the Natural History Museum in Ulaanbaatar, capital of Mongolia. We hope that you have enjoyed this short pictorial journey into the mystical land of the dinosaurs with a unique, diverse geographical terrain and fascinating landscape like no other desert, inhabited by Mongol nomadic herders whose customs and lifestyle have not changed much in 2,000 years. A land once ruled by Genghis Khan and traversed by Marco Polo in the 13th century. With this melodious traditional Mongolian folk song, we happily end this fantastic journey to this fabled land.